are there any like family members, relatives, friends, anyone that you would like to come to your living funeral who is not able to attend?
Yes, I think I would like for, and there's so many of them that have passed throughout my life. But my sister was my best friend. I'm telling you, like, and she was just taken from me. And her daughter, she was 12, and a few people. It was a serial killer that killed them. To this day, 2024, still on trial. It's just a lot going on with that, but there's no justice. And if I could just, have her here with me to just hug, hold, and, see this. Number one, I know she would say, "You're an idiot." She would call me up after hearing about this and say, "You are a straight fool." And I would tell her no, because I actually think this is going to help people. But, it's difficult for me because she's not here. So if anybody could be here, I think I would want to be here and just to kind of, go through this thing with me, the comicalness, the writing it down, the documenting the process, the going to planning. I would love to have her here with me. Yes, and her wife or girlfriend, they did a ceremony, but they couldn't get married at the time.
Got it.
So they were family. They were married. They did a ceremony, but they weren't legally married.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it possible to have a picture of them there?
Wow. I can't cry. I want to cry, but I can't cry because I have all this
Because she's there. She's
but
there.
yeah, no, that would be nice.
Because it's also too the ones who have also gone before us.
That's
right?
true. That is true.
And I'm sure if she was here, she would.
So I technically could print out their faces and put it on the chairs, almost as if they were there too.
Yeah.
You know what? And I think that would actually kind of make it a little bit better if a lot of people didn't come, because I could just fill up half the room with people who I know have died.
Or just the pictures of those are great talking points too.
Yeah.
For people when they have those awkward moments, those pictures of your
family.
When it back then, or something, a picture that people maybe not have seen. They bring up that like, oh my God, that's such and such. Okay. Even the people who can't make it, like, oh, that's grandma, she couldn't make it right now, but we got her over there. We already know what she would say, right? Right, exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
Now, see, that's heartwarming right there. I think so, and I think that people could learn from that too, because on a day-to-day basis, when people have passed away that we really miss and we really wish we could talk to, we could take that photo. We could take a photo and just remember the good times.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing I want to know from your expertise. Okay, so remembering things, do you teach that it's better to forget or to not think about those things? Or do you think that if you are sad and you're missing someone, that it is quite all right to dwell on the things or the memories you have? What do you think?
I think we have to be able to, I think there's a healthy balance, and that looks different for different people. So I do believe, we don't want to dwell too much on the past or be too nervous about anything in the future, right? It's good. Too much in the past, well, we can be depressed. Too much in the future, anxious, anxiety, exactly right. But it's also not healthy just to avoid stuff. So a lot of people, especially nowadays, what a lot of people do, they're like being busy. We've gotten used to being busy. So like with COVID, a lot of people started to have a lot of mental illness and things like that. It probably was there, but they were actually, for a lot of us, were just made to sit. And peace
be still, but the peace wasn't still.
Exactly.
It was chaotic.
You weren't running, doing this for work, and taking your kids to this and that rehearsal and that, and you just had to be there.
And then the ones who were out, it was like, whoa. You felt some sort of guilt, because you're like, oh, I'm working, it's okay for me to work. These businesses are all right, but I'm out here and it's like a whole world that's not. Like, look at the stores that closed. It was dreary. So you're right about that.
A lot of divorce, I think people too, it made people come to realizations with things, or like you said, address things like, oh, just don't get mad, just say what it was, right? But when we get into that hustle and bustle and how busy our lives were, we can also just avoid. So just saying oh, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to. Some people actually need to go through it and process. Some people never grieved even healthy, you know.
Yeah. I think you're right. You're right. But I think, and it does come out different for different people. So, like, I think that some people really, from the bottom of their heart, believe that I am doing too much by having a living funeral. And I think that I've mentioned it a few times, so it kind of does, like, upset me that they would feel like that about my life when I'm trying to process death. But I think that, like you said, I myself need to go through this as well. Like, this is a learning experience that other people could learn from. But I think this is something that I also feel like I need to do to be able to accept the fact that one day, like you said, I'm not going to be here.
Right.
You know, that's not, and see, the thing is that it's a thing to process, because you don't know how I'm going to die. I don't know how I'm going to die.
Right.
And even that could be, you know, a lot to process. So processing it now, like, okay, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get older. I'm gonna get sick if I die naturally. I'm gonna go through physical things, and then one day I may have to endure pain before I leave here. A grand amount of pain. That is, you know, you're mentally preparing yourself for that.
Well, I think, and the good thing too from what you're doing with doing this is, especially with your organization and wanting to offer these services to people who may not have had a chance to actually go through the grief, or to actually have that awareness, or to be present, or like you said, to see the funeral side or the memorial or what have you. I think you're trying to also to bring with that how that might feel for different family members and different perspectives.
Yeah.
And I think too that could come from give a lot of empathetic views and outlooks that can help serve, you know, individuals and families and groups in your organization.
Now, I think moving forward, I want to be able to, after discussing this with you and trying to figure out where you think I am, you know, psychologically with this, I think I want to begin to, you know, live. Do some of the things that I've never done before. I want to actually go and do these things as a way to process that, okay, if this were my last week or my last day here, what would I do? And I want to share that with you all, because I think that is something that we all should do. You know, and I don't think maybe we should live life on the edge every moment of life. You know, there are some adventure seekers and thrillers, and that's fine for them.
Yes,
that's how they get through life. But I'm telling you, I'm not gonna climb up, you know, anybody's architect and jump from that.
Got it.
You know, without a harness or something in any water and things like that. But there are people who do that. So I want to try some of that stuff though, once, just once,
exactly,
just once. You know, and maybe do some. I've done bungee jumping, but maybe not high enough. Or maybe I should go higher, or, you know. And okay, so what does that look like? Do you feel like that maybe that's a midlife crisis-ish?
I thought it used to be called a bucket list.
Okay, good. Bucket list-ish. Okay, bucket list-ish. But that's what I want to do. I want to write down a bucket list. I want to have that, and I want to check these things off.
Things that people.
Okay, and some of them might be wild, but none of them are like dangerously wild. You know,
right?
Like bungee jumping and things like that is with a guy. You know, and I'm not gonna do it alone. I'll make my husband come with me. Husband, you're coming with me, okay? You are coming. I don't care how you feel. You're coming with me. And so I want to, you know, do that. Maybe snorkel with some sharks or something.
Absolutely.
You know, people do that. They do that. You know, I've been on a ship. People have done it, and I've looked in the background, but I don't want to look in the background because I'm afraid now.
Right.
You know, I want to pull my big girls on and do it myself, you know.
And I think it'll be important too, to whether it's like through a shared album or a video, to make sure you share all those experiences, whether it was directly or indirectly, make sure that they know with all the people who you wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Because that's still, like you said, that continues to keep them in your
life. Like a book.
Yeah.
Okay, so for some people who might be watching who may not want to go as far as having a living funeral, then what you're suggesting is, okay, so maybe they can journal down some of their memories, or make videos, or keep a book of the things that they've done that they want to leave.
Like how you said with the people, like, oh, let's not just wait till somebody dies so we get together, right? And we come back in connection, and you share this, you want them to go through this with you too, but those things that also you accomplished and you wanted to do or you wanted to try, share those with all those people who you wanted to make sure came to your living funeral, right?
Yeah.
Because that was one thing you said is, let's not just let this be. We are only coming together at this time, or we're only sharing, or we're only, you know, doing these things in life. Like, it is a celebration of life, but we can celebrate that
together, right? And leave a memory for it.
Yes, and also, what do you what are some things you're dying to do or you want to do? Where's a place you want to visit or whatever? And asking them those things and encouraging them.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we can all encourage each other
To live our best lives.
Yes. Okay. So here's the okay. So I see what you're saying. So my friend girl, like I said, hey girl, what's some wild things you never did in your life before you really
like
want
that.
to do? And of course, my friend girl, one of them is gonna probably tell me, like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? I should make it really creepy because I'm odd like that and text them at 3 in the morning. What are some odd things you've never done you want to do?
Right.
Like, girl,
Right.
get off my phone. But seriously, on a more serious note. But yeah, so to kind of support one another, you know,
I think so.
but to do it so that we actually live.
It's
See what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
it's like it's like it's stuff you want to do before you pass, right? But
yeah.
you're actually promoting them finding happiness.
And they're as
A woman's woman,
Right.
a man's man.
Absolutely.
Growth.
I think so.
Because this is the thing. Throughout my life, I've seen a lot, and which has gotten me here to being able to want to be able to accept this. But one of those things is I've seen how we treat children. We see, young children, we treat them nice because they're young, but the minute that they, become 18, 16, people in society, a lot of them treat them foul. Just horrible. There's that gray area, right? When did they become, the person that you cannot care about? But that's what we face on the opposite end of adulthood. And you can't say you don't go through it.
Exactly.
You're in traffic. How many times have you tried to get over and probably with no other where to go, and a person has tried to, either run you off the road or hurry up and go first.
Right.
When did they feel like it was okay to treat you like that? You see what I'm saying? And it happened. So I feel like if we actually kept that same energy from our youth, that same love, that same respect until they've done things, and because the thing is, you can't expect people to think like you. You can't expect people to dress the way that you do. And this is what I think of. If you want a person to dress the way that you want them to, buy their clothes. If you want a person to think the way that you want them to, then you have to get inside their mind and literally tell them, this is the way that I want you to think. But randomly getting upset with people and just finding a reason to hate them and not respect them,
Does nothing.
it shows a sign of a problem. That is wrong for me, And so I feel like if I can promote the betterment of us. And I know that some people are a little bit extra, like, little personalities that,
They're different. We're different.
I'm different. So, when you're having a bad day and you see somebody come in who's determined to make you have a good day, right?
Right.
And I'm just like, and smiling, and you're like, girl, if you don't shut up. But I'm like, I really want you to have this good day, you know what I mean? But you're like, no, I don't want to have this good day.
Right.
And I can't figure out why. And so now we're like, at odds, but why? Why are we really at odds?
And then it may not be the person not having a good day, but a good day then may look different to you.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's why you have to talk and have those communications.
That's true.
Because how would I know that if you didn't say,
Exactly.
you know what, girl, I'm having a good day, but this is how I do it. So if you told me something like this, if you said, you know what, girl, I'm having a good day, but this is how I do it, what can I say?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm taking my happy tail on somewhere else. And then now we have created a space where you set a boundary. You may not know it, but you set a boundary for me.
Right.
And now I know. Calm down when you talk to her. She don't like all that, But see, how would I know?
It was understanding. Yeah. It helps with
So I
understanding.
hope that this creates that for me. And I want to thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak with you and get a clear understanding of how to process this. And now I feel like I can share with other people.
Yeah, I think you're going to come to with that great perspective of it might look different for other people. Maybe these are some things that we can have that create those conversation points or those talking points or those things that just can fill some of that awkward space for people.
Yes. Lastly, how do you accept it if people don't want to go to your funeral? How would you tell me to process it? Like, okay, say for instance, I invited all these people, parents, all these people, and they say, no, I don't want to go. How do I process the fact that the people I love and want to truly be there don't want to be there?
I think we although it's hard, and I know it just sounds difficult, but sometimes we have to accept that there may be other things that they may have experienced or went through that just make it much more difficult than what we can understand.
Okay. So it's
Right.
a level of understanding from all aspects. So I want them to understand me, but then I have to understand. So if we don't see eye to eye though in that moment, does that mean that the relationship is torn?
I don't think so, because here's the thing. Let's say somebody's gonna come here and they know that this is just gonna like. I know you've seen some people who can't go to graveyards. Like they don't do it.
Scared
I
or
can't.
sad, whatever. Both,
Yeah, they're like, or it gotta be a funeral. It gotta be like my parents. They just won't go.
Oh yeah.
They won't go. So if they know that it's something like they can't handle, or this is gonna take me to some psychosis, or to some like I'm gonna go into this like panic anxiety attack, and I knew this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it better for them to stay in a space where they know that they can stay a little bit more regulated, or didn't?
Or would I want to put them in a bad space mentally just to calm them out? No, that's the thin line between narcissism. Okay, guys, we've got it. We've understood it. That's the thin line between the narcissism and the is that I'm willing to make you hurt yourself in order to appease me. But no, I don't want you to do that.
Right.
If you're willing to, I really would like for you to become a part of it, because it would mean a lot to me in my acceptance and in my, transitioning. But I definitely understand.
And I think you're coming from the place of you're like, I'm fine if you don't.
Yeah.
But but just tell me why so we can talk about
Yeah,
it. Because what's on the other side is what you want to process with them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, I thank you so
You're
much,
so welcome.
and
Thank you for having
hopefully I get a chance to speak with you again before I go
Absolutely.
out and do some of the things. I wanted to, like I said, there's a hand gliding place in Georgia, in Atlanta, or Athens, someplace with an A. And there's a hand gliding. I want to do that. I've never done that, okay? I've done the bungee jumping, I've done the skydiving, but this hand gliding thing seems a little bit more, adventurous. I want to do that. I also want to eat a rat. And so in Japan, rat. In Japan, they sell rats. They serve rats.
Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm. I want a rat. I want to eat a rat.
It's like, how do they cook it?
I have no idea.
Oh, you're gonna find out.
No, but look, I've seen it. There's this mukbang thing. Okay, so there's the videos where people eat, and those are called mukbang, right?
Right.
And so the Japanese girls, they do it, but the way that they do it is they like kind of take out the cool looking foods that they have, real colorful, and the bats. And I want to eat those. They eat them all the time on mukbang. There's this cow. It was a cow neck or something like that. The lady ate it. She just popped it, and just like all the stuff just spread out everywhere, and she just like eating it. I'm like,
Oh my god.
oh, but it looked kind of like neck bones.
Okay, got it. Right.
I said, oh, okay. My grandma used to make neck bones.
Right.
There, I can identify with the culture.
Right,
I want to
right.
try stuff like that. And so yeah, I will hopefully be able to speak with you again.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
just kind of go at the end of this and go over, okay, where are we at?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see how it goes for you in each steps.
Yes. And I thank you so much. I'd like to shake your hand now.
Yes, good luck to
And
you.
mind my breath. So I'm gonna look like